The bike has been making a strange noise. I checked all the valve clearances previously and they're all good. And I've been did a 500-mile 4-day off-road trip, and the noise is getting louder. So I really don't know what it is. Checked the valve clearances on removal and all good. But suggestion could be that it's the cam chain guides or the cam chain itself. So I've got to strip it down, take the head off to do that. But as always, a little problem. 4 bolts holding down the cam retainer, and I dropped one of them down here. Disaster. So head off, see if I can see it. If not, it'll then mean this off as well. But hey ho, I'll let you know what I find. Well, taking the head off is not as simple as I thought. 6 bolts, lift away, don't happen. So you have to get the throttle body off its rubber. You can't move the head because it just wants to come vertically up. So you have to take all the rear end off, undo the air box, slide that back, that releases that. I thought, bingo, here we go. Take the head off now, so you move it up, and the stud, exhaust stud, hits the frame. It won't go any further. So I've now removed that exhaust stud. It's quite straightforward, I'm lucky. Now we'll see if we can slide the head off. And the answer to that question, will it just lift off? No, it won't. Because now, if you can look through where that lump of black rubber is, that's a shroud that goes around the ECU and anti-lock brake. It hits this, which is a bit of frame in there. God damn, got to take that off then. Not the end of the world, but more bolts here by the looks of it, and then slide out. That gap was where the anti-lock brake is, but I removed all that. Not quite sure why, but I did. So we now have the head off, cam chains out, cam chain followers or guides are out, clutch out, ready to rebuild. Okay, so again, the reason I did this is because I've got this horrible sounding noise, and I think it's either the cam chain guides or the cam chain itself. I don't really know, but I thought the easiest thing to do is we just change them. It's a bit of a faff, but we're in now, so I've just got to strip the gasket off. Got the bits on order. The chain is relatively easy to get off. You've got to take the clutch off, and then you've got to take this drive off to get to the chain, which sits in back here. But it's quite straightforward. I'm rather lucky I've got an air gun to get these off. Getting them on might be a bit more of a problem, talking them up. But yeah, it's quite straightforward, and there's not a lot in here. I don't know if I mentioned, but I thought I dropped a bolt inside the engine down here, and I hadn't. It actually was in here, and I was searching around, couldn't find it. It was just there. Anyways, bits are all out. They're all lined up. Clutch is in the order which it came out. I'm not going to change the plates. It's done 28,000 miles, but they seem in good order, and it's looking clean. Like, you know, this is pretty good. So I'm happy, but I still don't know what the noise is. All the parts have arrived for the Honda. So we're going back together now. So the new cam chain is in, and the new cam chain tensioner, that one's in. And now we've got to do this nut up because we had to take that off to get this out and the chain. So I needed a gear stopper or jammer, so I'm using this bit of aluminium. 100 Newton meters we've got to do this up to. So let's see how we get on. Let's see. So, fingers crossed. Oh, yes! Bingo! Now, and out comes the gear. That's fantastic. Really pleased. Right, okay, so now we can put the clutch in, and so that's the existing nut. and I've got a new one to go onto the clutch centre. So the clutch basket's gone on, the centre's gone in, washers are in. So now we're going to put the new washer. Instead of having those little tabs, looks like you strike it somewhere on the surface. Bit of oil. Right. So clutch is in now, and we got that tightened up by strapping down the back wheel, and it worked. So 108 newton meters, 108 newton meters. Let's see what's next. Well, I got out of the habit of filming, I'm afraid to say, so I've missed putting everything back together again. One thing I have made a change is I've put the pair valve back on. I bought a blanking part for it, and this noise was funny, and it could have even been a venting, if that makes sense. Was it coming out of anywhere odd? I don't know. But anyway, I just logically thought that there's no vent from the top of this engine, which there ought to be really. So I put the pair valve back on. I don't know whether it works or not, but it's reconnected, took out the jumper, plugged it back in, reconnected it to the airbox. It's light, it's small, so I'm going to be happy with that. I put it all back together again, new oil, new coolant, after stripping everything down, and a bit of a clean up in certain places. It started on the button, which is great, and let's just try it again. It sounds fine, but I won't know until I ride it, which I hopefully will do this afternoon. I broke this bracket for the exhaust, which is a real shame. So you can't see it, but underneath I had to weld it. But where I welded it, I managed to blow a hole in the exhaust, so I had to put a patch on it. With a bit of stick welding underneath. Difficult to see, but it's worked. It'll probably fall apart, but we'll see. Yeah, cleaned out. Yeah, basically ready to go. So put some new rubber underneath here just to protect, which is always a good thing. Stops all the crap from racing up here. So it's only little bits of extra rubber, but they really do work in actual fact. So it keeps this nice and clean. I put a piece here as well, so it stops it coming underneath the side panel into the engine compartment or the inbox compartment, which is again I think a good thing. Yeah, that's it. For the crash bars, I'm just trying to think of anything else. Re-grease this. Yeah, all looking good. So on the panels for the bike, you've got these screws, and the two nearest the rear of the bike, this one and this one, when originally you get the bike, they come with rubber washers to stop the panel from rattling, I assume. So they're actually quite easy to make. I bought some punches on the internet. You get various sizes. They're just a few pounds. I've got some sheet rubber which you can again buy from a local store, and you stamp them out and you get these little washers which can fit on. Yeah. So there we go with the new little washers on. Finger tight at first and then go around and do the others. I will say that getting this panel at the front is always the most difficult, getting them to locate in there. But what I will say is that this is 28,000, 29,000 miles now. These crash bars, whilst they were soft and are now braced here, my panels are still 100%. Okay, they're scratched, but no cracks, no breaks. these have protected it extremely well. I've seen other people with the brace bars from the top and they bend the headlights, they still damage around here, this all gets smashed. But these ones from Biker Bits, whilst they're a little bit soft, they have protected the bike. So I've got to say that they're really good. So let's see if it engages.
There are a lot of people just sort of say one number 5.
Finished the rebuild or top end and done a few lanes this morning, and I think it's going much better. I can't hear the noise. It seems to pull really well at the moment. So a couple of conclusions from what I've done. Remember that it was the cam chain and the followers, but at the end of the day I think it might well have been an over tight exhaust valve. I said in the video that it was the valve clearances were okay. They weren't. I said that wrong. One of the valves was tight, and when I logically think about it, I wonder whether it was so tight that as the engine got really hot, the valve oscillated and couldn't really close, and this is the strange noise I heard. I don't know. But it's gone, so I'm very happy. Seems to go okay, no other noises. Seems to be tight with oil and water. So we'll crack off and head our way to Dorset.